see, whether we accept it or not, the world out there does not accept a man that cries. Let me just ask the question directly. Has any of you cried before a lady?
I can't remember when I cried ever before. Except
An
when I was
African
in
man.
nursery, primary school, when I was flogged by my parents. Any other time tears came to my eyes was in the presence of God when I'm worshiping. Any other thing beyond that?
Oh, so in presence of God, you can cry.
Oh, no,
But
yeah.
in front of a girl, never. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Wisdom Connect, the platform where we discuss about real life issues, always taking it back to our guiding principle. On this platform, we're very intentional on becoming the best version of ourselves. So join us, because it's going to be an amazing conversation, I tell you. And it's so interesting because I have 3 men in the studio, no lady with me. So guys, pray for me wherever you are because it's going to be hot. But yes, this is a platform where we learn, unlearn, and relearn. And it's a complete no critic zone. So I'm going to say this to my panelists. Please, I beg you, don't criticize someone else's opinion. It might not be something you like, might not something you want, but it's okay. Just go ahead and share your own opinions without talking down on theirs. You know what I mean? Because we believe that even a wrong clock can be right twice in a day. So everybody is right in their own way. So guys, it's going to be an amazing conversation, like I said earlier. So just sit back, relax, and follow us, because this one, you could touch body. So guys, let me introduce my guest to you. Far end, what's end is this? Far end
To my far right.
Right in front of me is a broadcaster, a producer, a friend of mine, Nelson Etta. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. And of course, next to him is the fashion designer. I want to start with that. The team lead, he's such a creative. My goodness, he's one of the most creative people have come to meet. He's a presenter on any radio station. Call him. Jaycee is there for you. Jaycee, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And my last guest here. So this is very interesting. Let me explain. Yeah. I've not seen this guy in 16 years. We went to secondary school together.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And he left, I think, when we were in SS2 or something like that. And I've not seen him since then. But very interesting. He saw my first podcast and he said, Rosemary, book me up for August. He doesn't stay in Nigeria, so he's a jackpot story. Wow. I'll come into that. So, and then he's like, book me up for
coming
August.
Coming home story, actually.
And then, he's like, you want to be part of the show, and I'm really grateful. Thanks so much, Obasun, for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, guys, so let's start the conversation. You know how they always tell us that don't show your emotions, keep your emotions in check. I as a girl, I got that a lot because I'm very emotional. Now, it's almost like I'm looking for the emotions, but when I was growing up, I was very emotional. I would cry a lot, and my mom would be like, I don't always cry. They should not know you as a crybaby, But I'm thinking, you are guys, this is a different conversation entirely for guys. Guys will naturally not show emotions, but I don't want to be ahead of myself. And I'm thinking, if we're being told not to show emotions, what if showing our emotions is actually our strength? Have you ever thought about the part where you feel like I want to show who really I am, or just show how I feel in that instance? Do you feel like that's were you ever thought not to show your emotions as a guy?
Growing up, I'm that very child that would say I was blessed, or I'm still blessed to have parents that have understanding of who you are.
Okay.
My mom is a teacher, still teaching. She owns institution of learning, a primary school.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad is a pastor.
Okay.
So it's important that you understand every child differently.
Okay.
I used to be a very calm, cool, collected.
You're not cool anymore.
Yes, calm, cool child. When you tell me to stay here, you can go for 10 years and you meet me there.
Wow.
And even in school, I didn't break rules. And up until now, I can say when they want to count what you have done in life, that it's actually bad. I don't know what I've done. So it's not being perfect. It's just a system.
Right.
So I was told to say how you feel immediately.
Okay.
Even my present boss knows that whenever I feel sad, I am angry, he could actually say, how do you feel? I will just show it even before I say it. If I'm excited, you would know.
Right.
Sometimes you'll be like, Jaycee, are you fine? So it just means they've taught me how to express myself. So it's important that people know, or for me, I know the importance of expressing your feelings, emotions.
So what you're saying basically is that your parents encourage that that side of you where you could express yourself regardless of how you felt.
Not just the side, there was an enabling environment for that to thrive. So if you're angry, vent. My mom will tell you, say how you feel. Don't bottle it up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's African parents. How about learning? That's interesting. That's really interesting to know. But guys, really think about it. What's one emotion you've been taught to hide?
Pain, but I've never actually taken that advice from anyone because pain is one of the emotions that is easier for me to express. Like whenever I'm pained, it shows on my face.
Okay.
But I don't permit it to stop me from getting where I want to go.
Okay.
But I actually use it like a fueling force. Because once you're pained and you're still able to get where you want to go to, you even appreciate it even more. So
give me context when you say you're able to what's it called? You're trying to hide pain, but at the same time it doesn't stop you from achieving your goal. So give me like a scenario. Did you have any scenario where that had happened?
Quite the opposite actually, because when I feel the pain, it shows on my face, but I don't allow it to stop me from the assignment that I'm trying to fulfill.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
It.
So Nelson, tell me, is there any emotions you've been taught to hide, to downplay? Just don't really show that part of you. We'll think you're weak. I'm ahead of myself. Tell me.
First of all, I mean, unlike my brother here, we didn't even. There wasn't a conversation as to show this or that. It was normal not to show.
It was normal not to show.
Yeah, it was normal not to show.
Okay.
And you were not told to show or not to show.
Okay.
So it wasn't even a conversation that came up that you could express cry or pain or anger
you had
or
a
something.
typical African parent.
It was just normal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't a time we had a conversation. And I went to secondary school wise. I went to an all boys school. So now, and I was pretty young when I was in secondary school. So when you were like 11, 12, you had 21 in your class. You had 22. When you got to SS1, 2, 3, you had almost 30 in your class. Now, you don't want to be the weakling in that set.
Okay.
Right. Because if you have senior guys like that who has gorimapa and big beards in a class of you who doesn't even have one strand of anything,
right,
you don't want to present yourself as a weakling so you're not preyed upon. So you had to some sort of a way, developed thick skin to wade off any radar that says he can be eaten. Let's prey on him at every time. So you don't walk up to me like that. You don't try that.
So you put a facade like.
Beside, I don't know whether it was a facade at first or because that's like who I am. You can't walk up to me without that kind of nonsense. So it wasn't even something that we learned. It was just a normal lifestyle. However, as I began to grow and mature and begin to understand things, then I understood how to, should I use the word, dissect and present emotions. Okay. So when it comes to anger, how to be angry and not destroy either the person or a place or things.
Okay, we'll come back to that on how you actually express your emotions, because I have a question in those lines.
Yeah.
But really, because I know, like I said, you guys, I would have loved that there's a lady here because it's like I'm the only lady here.
Well, you give us a balance.
Are you guys saying to me that you've really, like, okay, apart from Jaycee, obviously, that says, he's able to express it. Are you saying that you've never, I don't want to use the word vulnerable, but are you saying you've not had times when you had to be vulnerable and show that side of you to anyone?
I think I've had that once in my entire life.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. Have you had it?
Vulnerability is not even a word I use often. So yeah, I'm a victim of that.
You don't show it at all.
No.
You keep it in.
Yeah, even when something bothers me, I keep a straight face.
Whoa.
Then I let the person know later on.
Right.
Because I try not to get angry. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be put in a situation that I react in a way that is miscalculated.
Right.
So whenever the person is hitting, I just stay calm. Then whenever I now regroup myself, I
can now talk to the person about what they did. That was really interesting. Okay, but Jaycee, I think I'll ask you this question. I can also ask, because say it happened to you once. Like that time that you showed your emotions, was it ever used against you? Is there any time that emotions you showed was used against you?
Is that for me or
You or Jaycee? I know because you guys, both of you have
so
such experience.
vulnerability for me means quite a lot of things.
Okay.
When I talk vulnerability, I'm not talking about as per emotion.
Okay.
It's just being in a situation where you can express either a state of disappointment or a pain that is not necessarily about. And then when we say emotion, I think we should define that a bit clearer.
Okay.
Because sometimes for men, emotions is enveloped in the word crying. That's not really it.
That's part of it.
That's part of the characteristics of emotion, right?
Okay.
But that's not really what it. So when I said it happened to me once, was just one time in my life where after a few years of doing a lot of hard work, I didn't get the commensurate result or harvest
Okay.
for the hard work I did. And then, I went up to a family member and I expressed, like, hell, I didn't want this to happen. I done. I was expecting to. That's what I mean by vulnerability. But when it comes to, say, anger or something, it takes me a long time to get angry. A very long time. I'm not the kind of person who gets angry at every week.
Okay, so wait, let me just ask the question directly. Has any of you cried before a lady? Have you cried in front of a lady?
Them, no, I didn't cry before my mom, but let's off.
Have you cried before a lady?
Before a lady. Before a woman, yes, but a lady, no.
Okay, explain that.
Mom,
my
right?
former boss,
Okay.
there was something that happened, and there's a point where you love and respect someone that they could do something to you that will hurt you so deeply.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could not say how deep I feel, because there's how you can tell your friend, I'm very angry at you, I want to tell you as it is, but you can't say that to your boss. You have to look for the most polite way to say
Right.
it. How you can say you're a mad person and saying, I don't think you're thinking well.
Right.
Without actually saying, I don't think you're thinking well. I
So
get you.
I had to look at her. Then she was like, I can birth you. I was like, Ma, I know your age. You can't birth me. We are in the office. You can't bring my mom to the field. You don't do it. Like, I was saying it. I was crying because I was saying how I feel.
Yeah,
But
the
then,
pain.
in the context, I should not have said that. But I was glad I am saying it. But then, I had to now make it look like it has hurt me so deep. So I have to cry. Do you know?
So were you acting that, or was that exactly how you felt? Because you had to
I
make
was
it look like
feeling that way.
Okay, feeling that way.
But the context is, so you're talking to me like that. That point.
I get you.
Yeah, so that was just the only time
Only
that
time
I've
you cried
actually
in front
cried
of a
before.
lady, of a woman.
Yeah,
So wait,
woman.
this kind of men I have here today as well. Oh. So you're saying to me that none of you guys have ever cried. So why do you think
No,
you
not
shouldn't
cry.
cry? No. Why do you think you shouldn't cry in front of a lady? I'll ask you because
Okay.
you bottle up things. So
No, actually, I've cried
okay.
in front of a lady, but not for a lady, because I've been in some kind of
No,
situations.
that's okay.
like-
Not for her, but you've cried in front
Yeah, in
of
front
her.
of her, definitely.
Okay.
Like whenever I receive strong bad news,
Right.
and I can't just contain myself,
Yeah.
I've cried. It can even happen in front of TV shows where we're watching
Right.
a movie with a lady. If it gets
So how
emotional,
was that like? How did that make you feel small? That make you feel
No,
weak?
quite refreshing.
Oh.
Because most of the time she's even crying more than I am. So.
So it's a crying competition
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So both of you are
exactly.
crying.
Both of us are
Interesting.
crying more,
Have you cried in front? Like honestly, have you allowed yourself just feel the emotions?
I've seen a couple of movies on.
No, apart from the
Yeah.
movies, like in front of a friend. Let's say it might not even be a girlfriend per se.
Yeah,
You
a
have.
couple of times. Like, yeah, several times.
So how
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
feel like? Because okay, I'm asking this question because there's this myth. I'll call it a myth because it's the contrary for me. And I will say that because I have people that have cried in front of me. And if that did anything for me is it allowed me respect them more. Because if you can be vulnerable in front of me, it means that you respect me and you chose me. Like I'm a good
Yeah.
person to you. So I wouldn't use that against you. So that's why I'm asking that question. But there's this myth that says that when a guy shows emotions or when a guy cries, he's weak. Do you guys feel that way?
No, I don't think so.
No, to me, it feels like the person needs to be consoled in that moment.
So you guys are saying that the
whenever
myth I
I'm
hear outside is not true.
You know how I'm saying this now because it's a platform where a lot of people need to learn. In as much as we say guys can actually express themselves, check those people in the comment section of a guy crying. Recently, it was a reality TV show where a guy was crying, and I could see people saying, what's that thing? they kept on calling him names.
My point
Why
exactly.
Could they cry?
That's what
but
we
then
see
you now
outside
come
there.
up on mental health day. You're
And
like,
says,
we
"Oh,
can
it's
cry.
okay for you to
We can
cry."
cry. Now you are seeing tears and you are now judging the tears. I remember there was this one time Davido cried. They were like valid. What's this gospel artist? The best man was crying. They say, why would they be crying on each other's shoulder? Why? You know, stay one place. If you want to be here, be here. Own it. It's your truth.
Right.
Me, I will cry. I
Right.
will cry. If you want to judge my tears, go ahead. But once I'm done crying, I'll wipe my tears and I'll move on. I'll get to where I want to get
I
to.
really like what you're saying,
Yeah.
JC. But the truth is, because I like to talk about things in reality. Like, forget, say we did here, lights, they showed, and everything looks good. I like to be as realistic as
It's
possible.
possible.
The truth is, the society does not teach men to cry.
But the question is, should a man cry before he can express vulnerability?
No.
Is
no,
the
no,
tears
no.
what makes him vulnerable?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's an aspect that people keep in. You know how a man can be vulnerable. A lady can also be vulnerable to you, but she won't show that she will not cry or he will not cry. I want to focus on men because I have men here. So let's focus on men.
You come on for us today, have you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can show vulnerability, but you might not cry. You will keep it in. You know how I remember saying to I have brothers. I have only brothers. So I said to them, if you feel it, then you feel it. If you want to cry, cry. Go inside. I remember saying to a guy, someone in the office, and I said to him, go into the toilet, cry, clean your eyes, come out. It's okay to cry. Like, I know the truth. See, whether we accept it or not, the world out there does not accept a man that cries. No, let me take that again. Does not support a man that cries. Once you start crying, it's like you're a weakling.
I think it
That's
depends
what I hear
on.
outside.
I think it depends on context. Like he mentioned, Davido did the same thing and he was thumped up.
Because it's Davido, anything he does is okay.
No, I don't think it's because of that. The BBN guy, who came up and did his own, the whole place went gog. It's because it's a reality show. So it's show. That's the context from which it was judged from. I don't think it's because it's a guy that cried. That's why. Because Organ, I'll show you this. So you don't come there, give us some
But that should be
here.
accepted. In that context,
it's called
it should be
a
accepted.
reality show, meaning that what happens in real time we are showing you. That's why it's called reality
And
TV
so
show.
that should be accepted in real time.
But the
because it's
context
fine.
for the Davido thing was Davido and one other gospel artist.
Yeah, who had
that
a
had
Okay,
a wedding.
fine,
So that
guys.
was
Let's
it.
move on from people that cried or not cried. Okay, go ahead.
But for me, I would. That's personal now. I wouldn't need to bring tears down. I can't remember when I cried ever before.
You're
except
just
when
being
except
an
when I was
African
in
man.
nursery, nursery, primary school, when I was flogged by my parents. Hell,
Abraham,
okay.
when are you going to cry for us?
And that was the last time ever. Any other time tears came to my eyes was in the presence of God when I'm worshiping. That's
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Any other thing beyond that?
so in presence of God, you can cry.
Oh, no,
But
yeah.
in front of a girl, never.
Not even a girl.
Never.
Let's
Never.
not sexualize it. Whether man, presence of a man, girl, or
You will not
women,
cry.
men. I know
all,
they
at
do.
all.
But I can express pain or vulnerability in a way that makes that in pinamo.
Okay.
But that it's not
I'd
gonna
love
drop
to
my
know
eyes.
how you express that. Like,
Right?
you know why
How you express
tears,
pain without
yes, why
tears.
cry and tearsing is part of what we're asking is because
Yeah.
if I'm angry and I'm shouting, they'll be like, the man verse, he shouts.
Yeah.
But
If
when
I'm
a man
happy,
is angry
say-
and crying,
But when he can't cry, there's always this thing that makes you look like, why even go they cry? Why is he crying? But I'm angry.
Okay, so I'll give an example of a friend of mine many years ago. I think this was 2016 or thereabout. She had done a lot of things for me at the time, and just to say thank you. We were all at home, our friends, family, So and I called her and I expressed a thank you in a way that was, should I use the phrase, touching. I didn't need to cry. Again, that's me, right?
Wow.
And she understood the
That you-
weight
that you
of
meant-
that thanks that I gave to her.
Interesting.
So I'm not against crying, no. I know some make you don't cry, yo.
What did you
But
do? What did you
I'm not
do?
gonna cry.
Okay, I
What
love
did you
it.
do the touching part? I need to know what you
Obasun,
did.
you want to say something?
But there's a way you express gratitude. Now in this context, there's a way you express gratitude that is heartfelt. There's
Hey,
a movie
give us
from
context.
Madea, Tyler Perry. They came into the room and the owner of the house. This is a movie now. Threw them out of the house, and then he was trying to talk apology. So one of them said, apologize to them before they can come into the house. He just said, I'm sorry. Tyler now said, this is Madea now said, no, I didn't feel anything from that apology because I'm sorry. That doesn't mean anything to me. until the now I wrote a book called Act Like a Student, Speak Like a Boss, a practical guide to communicating with, and I stress that. See, I can tell you are mad, but you're not really mad. You are mad. It's the same thing, but two different expressions. So how you express whatever you do per time.
I'm still keen on how you said that
of what you mean.
It's almost as if Jaycee wants to get it out of you, but we'll move on from
But
that.
he ain't gonna get my tears. That's the point.
Like I always say, if you've watched until now, you're the real MVP. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till now. I know you enjoyed the conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and I was learning and unlearning and relearning like you were as well. I believe you were. So please like, follow, subscribe, and share our content. People need to hear this. What do you think? I think so. So God bless you and see you soon.